time. It also will cost a good number of chits.
Define good.
I would have to charge at least for the mandrake root, the special and clean water, the utensils and know-how, 100 gold pieces. For something like this, I would accept the coin directly. I don't have 100. Do we have 100?
We have 100.
I've got 5 gold coins and 200 silver, he says. Ooh, I really want to animate Squish. Darian, Squish will be a good companion. He'll watch out for us.
Goody.
They're not inherently evil. They're simply crafted, bonded.
It's disgusting, is what it is.
It
was a fish and a squirrel, and now it's getting wings. It is an abomination unto the eyes of the gods.
Yes, but there's beauty on the inside.
There's stuffing on the inside.
And poison. Don't forget the poison.
And poison.
Oscars? When is Ptolemy's birthday? Or when does Oscar think Ptolemy's birthday is?
I don't know. Let's see
what I don't even know what the calendar is. 1D.
Yeah, 1D4. It is spring, summer. So yeah, it's in the summer season. You're halfway through the summer, so his birthday's around now.
It's basically time for your birthday, Ptolemy. So why don't we just, and Oscar's good. Oscar will...
I thought you'd never remember.
Oh, never forget. And Mr. Familiar, because we're in such a joyous mood, I won't even try to discuss with you the ethics of trying to charge for water as part of the transaction.
It is purified spring water. There are no springs here in the...
Oscar will put out 100 gold coins.
Okay. And basically Ptolemy is sitting off to the side for a while as he is donating part of his blood, and this man is going to help him craft a homunculus. Apparently they end up selecting like dragonfly wings for it.
This is awesome.
Yeah, it's
Don't
fun.
worry.
It's fun.
Don't worry. Be happy. Look at that.
Yeah, it's exactly.
When it bites you, it's poison.
When it gives you kisses, it's poison. Alright. You're just going to leave Ptolemy there for a while? You're going to leave someone to guard Ptolemy? Or
We're going to leave someone to guard Ptolemy.
Okay, Shadow will guard Ptolemy.
I'll keep watch over him.
You do notice that the familiar walks right up to Doom and just starts petting Doom, and Doom lies on his side and he's giving Doom belly rubs.
Hey!
That's the Shadow.
There's the warning outside.
You were warned, Shadow. You should be nicer to Doom.
Get it later. Traitor.
Compete with charisma checks over control of your animal.
Right. Don't worry, Squish will be able to play with Doom soon.
Don't forget the poison.
Alkur, before you go, make sure to get something for the squire. He's been rather grumpy. did know. You saw how the devil answered the question about angels might be here?
Around here somewhere.
Go find one for him.
That's a great idea. Darian's standing right beside me.
Yeah, heard that.
we should keep an eye out at. Can paladins smell goodness?
Some can. I can't. Yet.
Can you smell
I get
this?
it next level.
One chit and you could feed the dog-faced girl. And you see inside this wagon that has been converted into like a open cell all the way around, and there's this pathetic looking girl-shaped creature with a dog head. It's like a hound head. She's got pretty bows in her hair and a little sundress on. You can see people
That's just
wandering up and kind of throwing dog treats at her.
fucking awful.
She's dodging the the dog treats, and you can see some of the Skura are not too happy at what the temple folk are doing.
This might not be their nicest crowd. I don't know.
That depends how many planes they go through. This might just be like a true neutral or like lawful neutral circus of.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of what I'm thinking. Like true neutral is like, we'll take anybody. Just follow the rules.
I believe we should show them how it's done, Crusher. We'll pay 2 chits so that
Okay.
the 2 leaders of 2 temples could properly give a dog treat to a doggo.
Okay, you could toss it in, or are you handing it through the bars, or
we go to the bars and hand it in.
okay? She comes over, crawls on all fours, and takes the treat from your hand. She says thank you quietly.
Okay. Kreiger's gonna rage and brutal throw one of the... he's a good character.
You're welcome.
She doesn't eat the treat. She kind of collects a bunch in a pile. Of course, there's a bunch of broken things all over the place.
She probably doesn't even eat dog treats. She just collects them for pay at the end of the day. They reuse the dog treats. Just
Give me a spellcraft check. No, not a spellcraft check. A arcana check,
yeah.
or a knowledge, or a lore nature, or just nature. No. Sorry, I had a brain
They're
fart.
all the same,
Yeah.
so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
29.
You recognize a strange polymorph effect when you see one.
How long does this spell last?
I drew the short stick today. It's got to be done though. People like throwing things at the dog-faced children.
Hopefully you get a better stick tomorrow.
Oh yes. Better than cleaning elephant poop, I guess.
What's wrong with poop? Crusher. Everybody's got to do their part, and while it might seem inhumane, it is by no means the worst job in this place.
No.
Nope.
Same girl plays 16 parts in the circus, right? You pass by an empty cage, and there is a beautiful snow tiger pacing around in one of these cages. You can see that it's the stone chicken, the amazing stone chicken that will turn its food into stone. There is a not cage but tank where you could see blended into the red rocks at the bottom of the tank are coiling tentacles of a giant octopus. There is a warning on this one. peep the Crenshaw, you'll be scared. And there's a bunch of like
There is
the
no
scary
drawing of
dog
the
from
Kreiger.
hell. It effectively you pay to get scared, and you could hear
It gives you a frightened condition.
yeah.
If you zoom in on the token for a second, just for a second, there is no drawing of that animal that doesn't look phallic. Zero drawings of that creature don't look phallic.
There is a fabulous beast that some folk are oohing and awing over, that is swinging its tail around as it's walking and eating what looks like vast quantities of hay. It's this blade back lizard beast, and then people are kind of going ew at the same time. They're hucking like rotten fruit and garbage at this literal garbage beast that seems to be gorging it. An Otiug.
That's cool.
The tent of riddles is closed today. And it says, warning, cantankerous, you would use some over, like, $3 word on a warning side, but a warning, a cantankerous sphinx within. But,
is there anybody physically stopping us from going in there?
no, but the tent flaps are closed and kind of like laced up.
Are we having an oopsie? I thought I saw a lavatory in there. Well, we'll just take a peek. Just take a peek. Just take a peek.
Okay. Inside are lavish carpets. A beautiful purple carpet that leads up to a dais within. It looks like it's a place where something very large could lounge around in. Pillows and pillows big and small are lying all over the place.
Mr. Sphinx,
There's-
are you home?
There's a big kind of brass drum where coals and some incenses are burning. There's sort of a heady smoke in the place.
We're told you're not feeling well today.
Riddles, 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 riddles. Knock, knock.
I know this one. Who's there?
I don't know. I don't know.
I am not helping this creature with its midlife crisis.
Knowledge something for sphinxes?
Sure.
They're all the same. I'll just roll because
they're all the same? Okay. What are you specifically asking? You want to know
They're
what
all the same.
the powers of a sphinx are, or?
I want to know what the nature of a sphinx is.
Okay.
I don't know if I can guilt trip the paladin into helping the sphinx. Are they an inherently good being? Is my question specifically.
I don't think so.
I think they're the captain neutral.
Yeah, give me a roll.
27.
They are middle of the road creatures. Their favorite currency are riddles and secrets. Sphinxes like to trade in knowledge. They can live extremely long lives. And it looks like they have extraordinary senses and might even be able to see invisible things.
Read the thing. Or we could wait till the morning and I could just prep the spell. But we could go do the thing. Oh.
They have like innate spellcasting ability.
They're very knowledgeable, Darian. They might remember us.
They have an inscrutable
All right.
language of their own. Like, Sphinx is a language, but for a non-Sphinx to have learned it, it's a type of language you might not even know if you know enough of it. Like, it is like the language of riddles.
Shocker when the walls fell.
Yeah. And this thing is crying. I don't know. I don't know.
Would you like someone to talk to?
Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm not going in there, says Bone Crusher. Although it's got some pretty sharp claws. Yeah, you peek in, and you can see the thing.
We won't make him mad. Hopefully.
Should know who's there, but I don't. It's scaring me.
We've probably spoken before, but I don't remember either. Wondering.
Oh, it's you. He wipes his face on some of the pillows and dries his tears. Kind of crawls around the dais and then sits down, folds his claws neatly in front of himself. What are you doing back here?
Apparently I died, and have been reborn.
Oh, most troubling. Oh. Where are we?
Runerak.
Oh. Oh. I'm sorry.
I don't know if I am currently stuck in hell or on a portion of the abyss that has been conquered by the armies of hell.
Runerak? Runerak is Acheron. One of the floating cubes of Acheron. Well, one of the few remaining ones, anyways.
But Acheron was a place of Grumpsh and other chaotic deities, was it not?
Yes. Yes. I remember. I am a good Sphinx. Remind me your name again.
Alkur.
Ah, yes, Alkur. It's coming back to me now. My mind's been an awful fog as of late.
Perception check or a will save? I want to make certain I'm not being bamboozled.
Scammed.
Yeah.
Sure. Give me a...
Darian's standing right at the flap. Just
Okay,
to make sure
just
nothing
sort of looking in
happens.
there, yep. Crusher's looking out. On the outside.
33.
Nope, this thing seems to be very befuddled. Things like this happen to creatures of extreme age. Where they become forgetful. This creature might very well be in its dotage, although it's hard to tell physically. Like, it's not showing any signs of aging. Still looks strong. The infernal battlefield of Acheron. It is a separate outer plane from the hills. Or was?
Test ground for armies and tactics.
The eternal battlefield of endless conflict. A plane of law where conformity
took precedence over any thoughts of good. Unending battles taking place across the entire plain with huge armies and no chance of victory or ceasefire. At least in its heyday. A place of iron, horrible clamour. Runerak is a small cube. It survived.
Alkur is... So, I have a feeling this creature is suffering from the stupefied condition? That's the one for mental damage?
Yep.
Maybe? Might I cast a spell upon you? It might help clear your mind.
That's right. You know spells. I didn't forget that. I didn't forget that. I did not forget. But you have to forget something to remember it. Oh no. Oh no, not again. Not again.
Alkur's gonna approach and hopefully doesn't get eaten.
Yep. My, you've got big claws and teeth.
My, your teeth are large, and hopefully you don't go through, like, those fits of anger that sometimes happen when people have memory issues.
Do you remember me?
I do now. Okay, it's a 1-minute cast.
Okay, give me a diplomacy check as the mentally confused creature.
Don't eat me. It would be bad. Do not eat me. Don't eat me.
Okay, a CR8 encounter is DC.
I got 23.
What is that?
Don't eat me.
And he knows you. The DC is 24 with a +2, which would be 25. You make it. Although he did flinch and... What spell are you casting?
Restoration, which
Oh.
reduces clumsy and feeble and stupefied by 2. Or stupefied by 2, and this is like the mental damage one, I think.
Okay, you do see some color return to him and a sharpness to his eyes. He immediately stops his belly aching and moaning.
I feel wonderful. I remember. You are Alkur the Salt. Or a reflection of him.
The more I learn, the more I understand that is true. He holds out his own skull.
Ah. A very peculiar experience it must be to be holding your own self.
It certainly caused difficult memories to surface.
How do you think that you came to this condition? What spell or ritual do you think they use?
This current condition, as in this body,
Yes.
I would assume it's a form of either cloning or reincarnation.
Ah.
As we start from fresh vessels, yet they're somehow the correct vessel. We're not simulacra, as this is not ice.
Correct. But how could they control you so? When creatures are brought back to life normally, they have their past experiences with them.
That is a good My past experiences are suppressed, not gone. Fragments remain. I remember more than the others. Perhaps it's because of my elvish physiology.
You're so close, but you are missing so much. He looks at the skull that you're holding.
Who currently owns me?
Ah.
Or at least the last version of me?
A trade for information, then. A joke? A riddle? A secret? And I will read this for you.
Know any good jokes?
A rabbi, a pastor, and a cleric walk into a bar. I believe you already know all the best secrets I have. Suppose this gets more difficult with each incarnation.
Hey, Fox. Oh, you're funny as always, Kitty. Surely you must know a joke or a riddle.
Riddles, I know.
Well, then tell me one.
Adam is going to Google because Adam doesn't memorize riddles.
We are using computers.
Because I knew this thing was coming.
Alkur thinks about books that he's read before and takes a moment
Yes,
to
it
breathe.
takes a moment.
The creature remains patient. He does glance at Darian.
I
Darian's
always
just keeping an eye on things.
Yep.
I saw something along this line here. It reminded me of a book I read. I always run, but never walk. I sometimes sing, but cannot talk. No head on which a hat to place. You always look me in the face. What am I? I'll paste that in the chat. Let me steal your content website.
Well, Foxfire, to answer your question, we're in a demiplane where there's the circus that we're not entirely sure the origins of are.
Is it a river?
No.
He doesn't say that. He might probably. Yeah.
Yeah, this is yeah. The hint being, we saw one on the way in. There's one in this plane.
Oh, it's a clock.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes, I forgot that you were a mechanically inclined crafter. You built great engines and devices both big and small. With some training, you could build one of the things that you've just riddled me with.
working on it. Although recently it's mostly been smaller items, weapons and the like. I mean, I am on Rune Rack.
The last time you were here, you gave me something. For safekeeping. The answer, of course, is a clock. It reminds me of how another riddle begins. I always run, but never walk. Often murmur, but never talk. I have a bed, but never sleep. And I have a mouth, but never eats. I remember. Don't go swimming in the river Styx. But a drop of its waters will make you forget.
Are they soaking our souls in the Styx?
The Styx is large and unites the lower planes. It runs beneath things. It is one of the few things that will always be. Brave and knowledgeable the creatures are who would extract such foul brews from that place. How many times they must have done this? Well, they've done it enough. You have been resurrected and raised or reincarnated too many times, Alkur. A thing happens to a soul when it is reincarnated more than 7 times. It becomes dull. It becomes malleable. No, more like easily controlled. Normally, such magics would lose their function, or the gods would call you back to their planes, or the very planes where you deservedly should go, would give their clarion call, and you would find your way back to them. You have been reincarnated too many times, and I believe that these lords above and below have taken great advantage of this. They likely
Eroded our free will.
They likely have tethered you.
Umbilical cord.
Fart.
Now I'm hungry. No. Why is that paladin eating over there? No eating in my tent.
Getting crumbs on my cup.
Sorry.
Yes. And this skull is a clue to whom you are bound, or that has at least placed you in these chains.
Yes.
Your sponsor. Are you sure you wish to know?
If I was worried about damage to my psyche, I would have stopped turning over stones some time ago.
Yes.
As I stand here holding my own skull.
Yes. It must be a most peculiar experience.
I have memories that I did not live, yet I'm certain I lived, but could not have happened because I was raised in a place without stars.
Could you imagine what would happen if all of your memories came back. How small the flame is now compared to how you were.
This big swinging dick 15th level motherfuckers burn this brain to the ground.
Everybody out!
Blade is mine. Who binds me?
None other than the Archfey herself, the Queen of Hags, the one that dwells in the hut with chicken feet, Baba Yaga. She is your sponsor. She brought you here.
Ptolemy, this is all your fault. You want to go fuck around with some key? Knowledge something Baba Yaga.
Sure, occult.
All right.
Oh, something Baba Yaga.
17. Uh-oh.
She's a big, scary hag.
Big scary hag lady.
You don't think she's a deity, but she's like one of these forces that contends with deities. Stealer and eater of children, and has plagued or lurked on the fringes of civilization on a multitude of worlds.
I'm going to add your Baba Yaga to my list of lores to do one day.
Yep.
Because I would eventually like to do lore how to kill Baba Yaga.
Her exact motives are not quite known.
Fox, we could figure this out, but I'd have to cut people's skulls open. Or we could do Ptolemy. The thing is, we have to get to the top of the skull, so it's kind of at least painful at a minimum. I mean,
She's at least immortal. If Alkur had the knowledge of mythic beings, she'd be a mythic being, or perhaps even a demigod, like somewhere kind of near the top of that spectrum.
I know that if the opportunity arises and you get something of like, you can wish one evil being out of existence,
Baba
it'll be
Yaga.
that one.
Whatever you have done, you may have angered her. Still, she may have seen potential in you, and you became her victim nonetheless.
What did I leave here in safekeeping?
Ah. His claws kind of rake through his weird beard plumage, and a golden key kind of like falls out onto the carpeted floor. There it is.
Pick it up.
This key you fashioned long ago. There is a bit of a divine spark of inspiration in this key. But once a year, it will open any lock, or any door, or any binding.
Huh.
Alkur's key of unlocking?
Sure, if that's what you called it.
1 per year. Open any lock. Binding. What was the other thing? Lock.
Any lock, door, or binding.
Lock, door, or binding.
Yeah, it's kind of like a skeleton key. A golden skeleton key or something like that.
Let's release the pig fiend.
I will open the binding to the Tarrasque and then run away. Be like, it's in your backyard now.
Be careful with this. This can be used, even against the magics of the mighty.
I will attempt not to fail. Although, depending how many times we've had this conversation, might have happened more than once.
This is the 3rd time you have visited. It should likely be our last.
Does he mean because of his age, or because of my worn-ass soul?
It's a fucking Sphinx, you don't know.
It's a riddle.
Paladin, he says over Alkur's shoulder.
Darian kind of lifts his eyes to the... yeah?
You should try to go and console Isolde. Perhaps the presence of a brave paladin of old would do her well to see and to hear.
And where might I find this Isolde?
You should tell her that her sacrifice inspires you.
And what sacrifice might that be?
Do they not tell the story of the murder god anymore?
Knowledge religion, I guess?
Sure.
Or religion? Not knowledge. Just religion. Plus 10. $28.
You have no idea what he's talking about.
You lost me.
Ah. He waves one claw and waves another, and there are like pictures and illusions that start to move around in the room.
Fancy.
On a little primal world, actually one of the core worlds, a world called a bear Toril. We should concentrate on Toril, for a bear is a bit confusing. But upon this world there were gods that squabbled, and fought for power, and prestige, and worship. One such god was Baal, the lord of murder. He was a god of death who favored murders to be carried out through violent or ritualistic means. He ascended to godhood along with Bane, the lord of tyrants, and Merkur, the lord of the dead. The trio took on the portfolio of a more ancient deity, who served in a much older time, named Jurgle. These 3 gods became known as the Dead Three.
Okay.
Toril was much sought after, as there were many souls, and it was quite important for the Prime. Gods themselves squabbled, even their pantheons fought like noble houses, trying to lord over the city of mortal men. However, their squabbles took on a different perspective. They started to lose their ways, and some force, a great force, cast them down to teach them a lesson. This was called the Time of Troubles. Upon this world where gods strode amongst men, and women and children in different guises. There were lessons that rippled throughout the multiverse from this struggle, that even the gods may die. While this is known to many scholars in the multiverse, it was quite a shock to the mortals who lived upon Abertoril to interact with their deities, and to even kill one or two of them. Ball met one of these mortals, a crazy man by the name of Cyric, and with the help of a blade that had actually a god inside, slew Ball at Borskier Bridge, an insignificant little highway on a particular continent called Faerun on this world. The death of a death god, however, is not something that should be ignored. Entire upheavals came from the time of troubles on this poor little planet. Ball was busy bedding with creatures during his time as a mortal, and his spawn caused a lot of issues for those people in those days. The death of the death god, however, the murder of murder itself, Isolde was upon the world at this time. She took it upon herself to try to contain the energies that were unleashed. Ball was a cruel and wicked creature, and it is his death and legacy that created the twisting. The twisting is a power that could change for good or ill the very nature of life itself. You've seen the mongrel folk. You've seen some of the strange ones that are here. They all have been twisted. She contains the worst of it, and has done so for a very long time.
And this twisting would have spread throughout.
It would have
I
spread
guess.
like a cancer throughout that world, and to others.
There's nothing we can do to get rid of this energy.
She's an immortal. She's been infected by it. And a good pep talk once in a while, I think we'll have to do.
And where might I find Isolde?
She's in her tent.
Have I spoken to her before?
Yes.
Anything I should remember?
I don't know. Perhaps you can ask her.
Will do then.
Thank you for your service.
Well, I'm gonna pretend I know what that is, and we're just gonna head out. Okay.
What'd you learn? Mark, what'd you learn?
That the Isolde of the circus contained the twisting, which is you've seen infecting other creatures within the circus, and that is directly related to the murder of Baal on Faerun. And she's been keeping it from spreading like a cancer throughout the multiverse.
So who's doing that?
Isolde. We're gonna go say thanks. Thanks for taking one for the team.
The rest of creation thanks you. Have a silver piece. Actually have a chit.
Alright, so you walk outside.
This cider's on me.
Learn anything interesting, says Bone Crusher.
Yep. Cancer of the multiverse is here.
Mm.
It's like a tumor.
Oh. Will it hurt?
Possibly. We've also been here before 3 times.
I was thinking the same thing, Kenny. I was resisting. Then I thought of Magnus, and then I snapped back the conversation.
And then we move on.
All right. I told the Sphinx I'd go see Isolde before we go.
Is Isolde an angel?
My guess is, yeah. Who else would take that on?
Good.
I just wouldn't expect her to look like an angel.
It's what's on the inside that counts.
If that's not twisted too.
Sometimes there's all sorts of twisty bits on the inside of most of us. Almost all the bits on the inside twist some way or another.
Thanks, Oscar. Well, did you enjoy the zoo, my lord?
Why, I appreciate you addressing me as my lord. You left your my lord making his squishy into a familiar.
Oh, yeah, he's not there. Shit.
I do appreciate it. Don't worry, you may rise in my presence.
You left him alone in this shit show.
The shadow's with them.
Oh, because they won't get in trouble. Probably both locked in a tower somewhere. Ptolemy trying to keep his...
Ptolemy, oh Ptolemy, let down your long, sweet, cottony goodness hair. Then we can go save him.
Well, he's got tentacles.
Let down your long tentacles. Put some of that cotton candy on him.
You're disgusting.
Disgusting.
Says Bone Crusher. You can see Degoom is on the elephant now, enjoying himself.
Crusher, you said you remembered a field of battle.
Yes.
Did you ever cross a hag?
Hag? Like an ugly lady?
Yes.
I don't know.
Specifically, Baba Yaga. Very quiet.
Who?
Baba.
It's loud over here. What?
He said Baba Yaga.
Look at you and hurry away. No, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, what's a Baba Yaga?
Powerful hag.
Entire circus grinds to a halt. You hear the record screeching. Hags start climbing out of their skin suits.
We're on neutral ground. Neutral ground. All right. Keep your ear out for that name if you could.
Hey, it's probably almost time to collect my prize.
All right. Well, you do see what look like a lot of the foot traffic passing by the tent of riddles seems to be all the people that work at the carnival. Like this back area doesn't seem to be. It actually says off limits to the visitors, and there's a different sign that says no Georges allowed.
George is
But
it like Geor?
I think
George.
It's what they call non-circus folk. It's the guy.
You're a George, and you're a George, and everyone's a George.
A George is a mundane outsider, a paying customer.
It's a bunch of clowns smoking and bitching about customers back there.
A sucker. This old school man. Oh, there's a lot of glare. Okay, you get the feeling that just the carnies are heading back there.
Well, we haven't really taken offense to any of the carnies to go seek out some sort of just within the bounds of acceptable actions sort of revenge upon.
You could see when you're kind of passing by that there is a couple of big tents back there, a big golden tent, and then like a mess hall, perhaps.
We don't see that purple tent.
Oh, you can see the purple tent. Yep.
The tent of justice. What happens there, I wonder?
You don't know, but you do see that there is one of the thin jurets that's just standing out in front of that tent. He looks like he's guarding that tent.
So I don't know if you... So there's a few things I just wanted to bring up a little bit. This connects into not 8 imps, but the Gel campaign. I can't remember the name of it.
Shadows.
This connects into Shadows. Like, that campaign ended with like a big cult of people like hanging out with the river Styx, like sacrificing people into the river. Like there's a whole, and whether or not that's connected or not, it's a complete other thing. But they were like, the rebirth, and it was all about like a guy who would respawn his lives over and over and over again, kind of like what we're doing here. Like that was like the main arc of that whole campaign. And in that campaign, we had one scene with a circus, and we murdered everyone in the circus. And, you know, Ahmed's psionic warrior died because he couldn't climb a fence.
Ooh, the mythic power.
Climb fence.
Full plate, first level. Dope.
Yeah.
Full plate in first level, and he couldn't get over the fence. It was half plate. That's even worse.
What campaign was it? He almost died because he was in full plate trying to swim across the river.
Well, that was Argentius in Symbol's Gift, but we're getting distracted.
That's what. That's right. Yeah.
All right. Just speaking of carnival justice, so let's go get. Do we think that Ptolemy might be done?
No, Ptolemy's not done, but Kreiger could go collect his winnings.
We can go collect Kreiger's winnings.
Yep.
Okay. You do spot perhaps an important person from the temple. Let's see if I can find him. You find the Lord Wizard talking to the professor.
Well, we just sort of walk, kind of not towards that guy. We kind of walk kind of away from that guy, and
Okay, kind of keeping your distance,
yeah,
sort of
I
thing.
think we just like, we just look the other direction.
We don't like being questioned in places we can't kill the questioner.
Exactly. But we are going to kill that guy.
Okay, the winnings for that hour of strongman competition. There were. Let's see. 6. Divided by 2, you get 570 chits for winning.
Nice.
Investment.
Nice.
And then they rub your names off the chalkboard, and they restart the contest.
Oh. Is there like a prize for having the best for the day, or?
Oh, every couple hours we'll start a new contest.
Oh, okay. Well, there. Give me.
There's lots of strong creatures around today.
Give me 10 chits from what I just gave you there. He's gonna do it again.
Oh no, we haven't started yet. They're kind of like trying to shoo you away to get more people in.
Hi. I'll be back. I'm taking all your money.
Two mongrel folk. What an asshole! Yeah. If you guys leave.
All right,
We're going to give him the clown hammer that just makes a sound when you hit things with it.
You pick it up and it just kind of wilts.
Oh, sad hammer.
Okay, I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Okay, the Lord Wizard isn't there by the time you get back, and you can see the professor is closing up his wagon. What are you guys doing next?
Okay.
This is probably like 2-3 in the afternoon at this point.
Well, we were supposed to meet the professor at the sideshow later. Was it at night or was it?
Yeah, at night, he said.
Okay. I think we're going to head to the big top. Well, we're going to wait for Ptolemy, so we're going to do something else to burn time till, I guess it's the sideshow. No, we want to do the sideshow after the big top. So I think the plan is burn time till, well, I guess the midway. We haven't been to the midway yet.
Yeah, you can play these random games of chance, or darts, or the crooked crossbow, or...
I think we'll play we'll have let's pick one that let's find one that Oscar or Darian would be good at.
Yeah, the crooked crossbow is firing this janky crossbow at targets. It's definitely like somebody warped the wood.
All right, let me show you how it's done. Cricket crack.
All right, give me 3 attack rolls.
All right.
Using your dex.
I'm assuming it's a crap weapon.
Yep. It's a shoddy weapon and it's confusing. It's a -4.
Okay.
And there are targets that go really, really small.
Okay. So 22 on the first one.
Okay. You hit the board and hit like the third smallest target.
18 on the second one.
That one you don't hit the target, but you hit the board.
And then 14 for the third one.
You hit the board. You paid 3 chits for this and got 1 chit back.
Alright. I can understand why city folk might like this, because, you know, they don't have a crossbow to shoot. But, Alright, well...
It's 10 chits for a you get your chip back, or you could try to win a prize, and it's at least 10 chits for the smallest little doll with kind of a stitch doll with the pixie wings. Okay.
Yeah, let's try to win the doll. So 10 chits. We'll go in for 10 chits.
3 nat 20s. Yep.
So first shot, AC 27.
Okay, you hit the third biggest ring.
Second shot, AC 16.
You hit the board.
AC 26.
And you get
shot.
Okay, so you've now got you could either put 2 of your chits towards the prize, or so you won 1 last time, and now you got 2 this time, but you paid 3.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
So I will do that, and I will bring this to 26. Okay, I will keep shoot. What's the AC that I have to hit minimum?
So an expert shot is AC 20. The second smallest dot is a master shot for AC 30, and then there's a legendary shot which is AC 40.
All right, so I'm rolling with a +10 with their shitty bow.
Right, this stupid crooked crossbow thing.
So miss.
Yeah,
so
you hit the board at least.
Oh god.
That time you don't even hit the board. It goes whistling into like a back
3.
portion. All right, so that time you lose three coins.
Yep.
You can roll them all in one roll if you want.
Yeah. All right. Hit, miss, nat 20. So hit, miss, legendary.
Okay, so Oscar, well, you got lucky. Is what somebody was going to hit it, and they pull the thing out, and you win a prize. Just
That's what I want.
so they give you 4 chits back, and then the legendary, you just automatically get a prize. Look at that, Wither King eating your nat 20s. Look, Mom, I did it on my first try. That's some kid. Nice.
All right, so this prize is a little.
It's a doll, yeah, and there's a couple of versions of the doll, and they get bigger, but same stock. Do you want a pixie or a bear?
Pixie. I want a pixie.
All right, here you go.
Crusher grumbles.
Okay. This thing is actually small sized, so it's like a halfling sized pixie doll.
All right, it's going on the sheet. A small pixie doll. Is there anything weird about it, or is it just a doll?
It's well crafted. Its wings look very realistic, but the doll is kind of silly looking.
How do we learn that this is actually a person? That this is actually a sentient creature they've reverted to doll form? Because I know they have. Because you've mentioned them too many times.
Well, if I grind up its wings and snort it, do I get all sorts of demon high or devil high? uh, look at his wings. Why didn't you pick the bear? Because I knew you wanted the bear. Why don't you win your own one, Garrett? Evil Faye definitely would. So Alkur is going to investigate this. Well, I guess Oscar will investigate this plushie, but
Yep.
Alkur is going to check for anything untoward. He will medical check the plushie.
Yeah, it is not anatomically correct. It's just a big kind of stitched doll. A considerable, like a decent crafter built them.
At least they're built of quality.
You do find signs that the gossamer wings are like knitted or like crafted. You can see the.
No. Don't, Darian, don't worry. Look, you can see the stitching line right here.
Yeah, I've got stitching lines too. They're called scars.
No, the thread.
Yeah, you stitch with thread. You should know that. You're a healer.
I don't believe it's made of people.
I will find the evil in this place.
Well, we talk to a devil. Says Crusher.
Ex-nay on the evil day.
And there are cultists everywhere.
Yeah, part's pretty fucking true. I mean, you lead
ogres.
one of the cults.
And there's ogres and trolls.
Should we be wasting time here, or should we go back and take a peek around while they're all here enjoying themselves?
I think we should take a peek around. We should get those people out of here.
Now might be the time to do it.
Couldn't agree more.
Sounds really exertive.
No one else is exertive. Removing my foot from your ass. I think you'll find that extremely exertive.
I believe neither of us would enjoy that experience.
Sacrifices sometimes have to be made.
All right.
We're the king. I like having you on the stream.
We are on. We kind of learned where we were. So we're on Runerak, which is part of Acheron. Yeah. So we do know now. But yeah, no, I see. Like, I don't think Darian is even from Galarian.
No, I don't.
He is
think
from
he
a
is.
different world. He is from a different world than the rest of us. And I want to know what is written on the top of his skull. So, Alkur has yet to mention that if you die, could you try to keep your skull intact? So I can read the top of it.
Yeah, because that's going to go over. I would like to skin your skull, empty the brain.
No. I just scalp you. That's all.
Don't worry, I'll heal you right up afterwards. You might have a bald spot. It's how monks got their first haircut.
The whole paint thing came. Alternately, he could just be like, "Oh, we all have tumors in our brains. We should probably remove yours and just."
You should set up a healing station. Oh, look, you have a tumor in your chest. We'll cut that out. And Alright, so we're gonna go try and have a looky-see around while this circus is going on.
Yes.
Okay, so you go and fetch Ptolemy. Oh, it moves weird. It's kind of twitchy, and its gills are moving, even though Alkur knows it's not breathing, and its wings are kind of like dragonfly wings. Squish! Meet my friends! You'd see shadows outside pouting. That's Shadow. Its weird googly eyes are moving. That's Bone Crusher. And hey, did you have fun while I was in here?
No.
No fun. But we got you a pixie.
Oh, lovely. Do you like that Squish? Squish says he likes it very much.
How you
Right.
doing, Squish? You were on my mantle for some time.
Oh, yes. Oscar, I think, made you. Well, yeah, but
Apparently, he's having conversations with Squish. He's talking.
In this entire bazaar of freaks and mutations, that is the most horrifying thing here.
I used to use you to dry my socks, but I only had the one of you, so I could only pick one sock at a time. So that's where the better sock, the one without the holes.
Squish is honored to meet Unky Dwarf. Yes, and this is part of the team. What do we call ourselves again?
Oh, the
The Knights of Dire Sylvania or something.
no, it
the,
was
the eggheads.
Oh.
it was it wasn't nerds. It was
Geeks, dorks.
oh, we had a name. It was just on the edge of good taste. Shit!
Check the tapes.
Check the tapes.
Yes, we are part of Team Brain.
Brain.
Oh, those guys. Oh, I see,
yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. The ones that aren't allowed to go by themselves.
Yeah.
Not even to the bathroom.
Weenie.
Nowhere.
With
Weenies.
yeah,
It was weenies.
Yeah, we're on Team Weenie. Squish says he's honored to be on Team Weenie.
Good to have you.
Squish, this is Kreiger. He's not like us. Well, yes, I suppose you were once a squirrel and a fish, and now you're Squish. No, Kreiger's an original.
That's right. Which means I don't have a sponsor.
Hey, do you want to get sponsored? Hey, kid, do you want to get sponsored?
Oh, and then last but not least, this is my squire, Darian.
I'm not talking to it.
Squish says hello.
Nope.
Well, no, he actually said hello. He can speak in my head, you know.
That's fine. He can speak in your head.
Squish says he really likes your armor.
Nope.
He says you must be very brave.
I am not engaging the fish thing.
His name is Squish, but don't worry, he forgives you. You'll come around.
Nope.
Mark's train spotting through his house.
I had a dog that wants outside. Cat wants out too all of a sudden. What the fuck?
It should have a poison reservoir somewhere in its head area.
Well, that's fucking charming.
Yes, Squish just says pour it right in his mouth. He'll tilt his head back like this.
Like a Pez dispenser.
It's a good little Squish. Do you want to see him fly?
Yep, most horrifying thing in the place.
It's amazing. Thank you, Oscar. Your gift was the best.
Yes, who would have thought you'd like a flying poison dispenser?
He doesn't mean it.
Happy birthday.
Everyone's gone soft in this place. It's the super softy temple of elemental evil.
Oh, it's your birthday, my lord.
Yes.
Oh, good. You're going to start acting like a grown-up?
I suppose.
Oscar's giving Darian a dirty look.
I am 26 after all.
Uh-huh. That's kind of my point.
Hey, where's your dog?
Is he an elf? No, he's a human. Ptolemy is a human.
What?
Get out of here!
Shadow is like dragging Doom out of the place.
You're dragging him by his scruff, kind of half picking him up. The dog seems to not want to go.
Not that I'm picking sides or anything, but maybe if you didn't kick him so much, he wouldn't want to hang out with others.
I think he's charmed him.
And you notice that the familiar just basically waves his hand, and then Doom starts acting normal. Kind of like he dismissed it.
Okay.
Looked like he was enjoying himself.
Did you win the carnival doll in your strongman competition?
No, I won money. Way better.
Oh.
And we used money to win at the crossbow thingy.
Oh.
And there was no peckerhead little kid who nobody talks about that.
Peckerhead. Yep.
Took me 10 tries.
Nope. I won it, and there was no kid.
All right.
Mark is doing battle in his kitchen.
All right, where are you guys headed?
I'm making waffles.
So
Can you just
are
eat
we
something?
going to make it waffles? That sounds awesome.
Yep. It's about 4 in the afternoon at this point in time.
All right. Does the time match the time in the thing?
It seemed to be day in
Same time
here.
day when we basically, the only person we haven't seen in here yet is Horny McGrumpy Battle.
We haven't seen...
the guy who made me drink the fungus. I can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
The grumpy tiefling. And if that grumpy tiefling's all by himself, we're
Is that what we're
pounding his
calling
ass
him?
in. Yeah.
The grumpy tiefling?
Yeah, you haven't seen him, although there's like several hundred cultists and people from Null, but here.
We could just go out and see if we can kill everybody that's out there. Apple pumpkin seed this motherfucker. I would seriously like it if Kreiger was smashing that guy's head in with his hammer. That would please Alkur. You're muted, but I'm assuming you agree. Yeah,
I am. Yeah.
Although, Darian,
Yes.
weren't we supposed to talk to your cancer lady?
Yeah, apparently she needs a pep talk or something.
Well, then perhaps we should, find her first.
Well, my guess is she's in the back there.
If we, have an accident outside the tent, they might not let us back in.
A fair point.
And these chits ain't worth shit outside the tent.
Besides, I think the later we get, the more people will be looking to enjoy themselves at the circus. So a little more time won't kill us.
Haven't used the big gold one yet. That's the special one. So how do you? So how are you gonna find Cancer Lady?
Well, he said, Sphinx, that is, said her tent was the tent of the mistress.
Based on that name, I would assumed it would be a slightly different kind of tent.
Yeah, I don't think that's what she does.
Weird.
It just seems like a good way to make some money.
Let's just ask one of these damn carnies where I can find the fucking tent.
Excuse me, this Mr. Man with the paint on.
You talking to the bodyguard that told you to shoo away, or are you just trying to find...
Just random Connie.
Okay, you actually see the guy with spikes in his head and the skeletal woman walking by.
What? Did you have a good performance?
He did. He gets a little shy after. Well, we got to take the one out of his head.
Medicine check.
Yeah, the guy should...
Investigating. He's got nails all over him, but why isn't he dead?
Yep, go ahead.
This is odd. Oh, I'm really good at this. Wither King Ahmed is currently at like the year-end airsoft. 25.
25. For some reason, this man's physiology is moving vital things out of the way when nails are going into him.
That is interesting. You have control over your organs, huh?
He's Woodenhead. He's always been like this. Well, maybe not always.
He seems a little stupefied at this point.
Do you need a hand with that one?
I look after Woodenhead.
Not meant to intrude. We are wondering if you could point us towards the tent of the mistress.
You want to know?
He's much more eloquent once we get a few of those nails out of his head. His brain moves around.
Tent of the mistress.
Do you use magic in this removal process?
No, we don't need to. He's very strong. Just kind of hanging off of him. You get a suggestion that they might be very close friends or maybe lovers.
Yeah.
She is literally skin and bones, though. She should also be dead.
You need a sandwich or something there?
I do like to eat, she says.
Is she alive?
She's alive.
As in not undead?
As in not undead.
Oh, it's the twisting gear.
Okay.
Stay here long enough and you'll start to manifest. Nothing to be shamed about.
Do you want a nail?
Just tell him no.
He takes one of them out of his head and gives it to you. There's not a drop of blood on it.
That's really cool. Sure, we'll take this nail.
Oh, if you give away all your nails, we're going to have to get more of them made.
Alkur will give him like 5 chits
chit.
for the nail.
Oh, thank you, she says. She puts them in a pocket.
Easy there, big spender. It's a fucking nail. How much those cost?
It also for information. How do we find this tent of the mistress?
Which mistress? There are a lot of mistresses around here.
We're looking for Isolde.
Are you sure you wouldn't rather go watch Salisa the Snake Mistress, or perhaps Centira the Beautiful? I believe they are at the Peep Tent.
Did I say Snake Mistress or Centura the Beautiful? No, I said Isolde.
She usually doesn't talk to Georges. I mean, customers.
She'll talk to this one.
The golden tent in the back is hers, although she's rarely in it. The wagon
She's there now.
The wagon closest to the tent is where she sleeps when she does. No funny business. She is our leader. Oh.
We have the utmost respect for her sacrifice.
Oh. Yes. I need to we need to remove some of these nails. She kind of toddles off, leading Woodenhead.
All right, so we're gonna.
What an interesting couple. We'll go back to that sign that we saw that basically said, no Georges.
Yep. Oh, along this way?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you go there. There's nobody to enforce the Georges not coming back here. You get to give me
I want
a
to get into that mute
D10.
toggle thing.
You're looking for high. This is how far you get into here before somebody takes notice.
10.
10.
Like a fart in the breeze.
You pass by the mess hall, and finally, as you're cresting the corner, like, hey, what are those Georges doing here? I will take care of this. A bunch of the crazy-looking clowns gonna come out at you. You shouldn't be back here. One guy's kind of mocking Kreiger.
We were invited.
It's kind of like this and making ape noise, like.
I want the Storm Knight competition.
We were invited, gentlemen.
Invited?
Where's your invitation?
We were invited by the Sphinx.
Sphinx tent over there. We bring our food to him, he doesn't come back here. You'll have to do better than that.
Bring me to Isolde. Now. I will take a penalty on my coercion because I know I can't do violence.
Okay.
And I can coerce up to.
Hopefully the answer is 5.
No, I've got group coercion. Can't remember now.
I don't want to be twisted.
No, nor do I.
I'd rather not get whatever.
I can coerce up to 10 people
Okay.
in one round with a look. No, that's demoralized. Sorry.
All right.
Oh no, I can do it with in a round. Yeah.
Okay, give me your intimidate check. This is against their will DCs, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Come on, roll well. I'm gonna spend a hero point because I don't want to do violence here. Come on, roll better. 31.
31.
Easy there. Big Slayer.
One of them is kind of like making like monkey scared kind of. Yeah.
She doesn't usually talk to people.
You do notice that your yelling has got the attention of the thin jurist, who's slowly walking on his very long legs to see what's going on.
We're old
here.
friends of hers. She's met him before.
An exception can be made, then. You should go to the golden tent. Oh, looks like you got the attention of one of the jurists.
And they all back away.
We're start just moving away from the jurors.
Yeah. Well, there's ways around him, right?
Yeah, he's moving slowly. You can move your tokens.
We were told to go to the wagon. And I
To
think
the tent. They told you to go to the tent.
Oh, the other lady told us to go to the wagon. Which is the entrance to the tent?
There are a couple of them on either side. It is a beautiful tent. There's a long table. There's a divan. There's a fancy-looking kind of hearth at the center. There are all sorts of like weird shields with strange heraldry around them. A couple of helmets, all golden and gleaming.
Oh man, she kills paladins and collects her gear. Fuck.
The fucking thin rat's coming inside. He just bends
Okay, we go
down
out the
and
other door.
leans in.
You go out the other door. Go to the,
We're gonna
circle
go
around
out
to
the
the
other door
trailer.
and we close it.
Okay, you notice that he outstretched his hand slowly, like he was asking for something. And then his hand goes like this as you guys are running, and then he slowly gets out of the tent.
Close the door.
Alright. The jurat sees you. He's kind of looking over the tent, and he stops following, or stops chasing.
Okay.
His head is turning to watch you. He's really freaky. He's got like no eyes and no facial features.
All right, everybody, be calm. We'll let Darian, because we're told the wagon beside is where she sleeps. Oh, he's coming.
His hand reaches out.
Hi.
Just show him the golden chit.
Oscar will pull out the golden chip.
Okay. He nods. He extends his hand towards Oscar.
Oh, this bitch better be working.
He closes his hand around the golden chit. He knocks on the wagon. You can hear some weird motion inside, like something scraping along the ground, like a big rope or something like a tendril. It's kind of like a little bit of flapping. One moment. Clink. You hear some clinking of armor. Come in.
Paid for the goddamn. Oscar's going to.
It goes
go
like
in
this.
slow. Hey, Carnies everywhere.
There is a large bed, and then a table, small, sitting at which there is a very strong woman in plate armor, fashioned for her female figure. She's got a short crop of dirty blonde hair. There's a really beautiful greatsword that is just lying in its scabbard in front of the table. The thing is magnificent, and immediately you recognize the sword as perhaps something holy.
Something holy and avengey.
Yeah, maybe you're not too sure if it's a holy avenger, but
It's a holy weapon.
it's a holy weapon, and you would hope that you would come across an avenger like that. She like looks at you like,
He takes off his helmet.
yeah.
And the mask.
There is a flash of recognition. Darian?
Mistress Isolde, you'll forgive me. This might not surprise you, but I'm early in the cycle and still don't know a lot.
She gets up. She goes to hug you.
He's stiff, but lets her hug him, but does that kind of not moving, but the eyes are going side to side, trying to figure out what's going on.
All right, so she obviously knows you or is very familiar with you by how she's kind of in your neck at like with her face.
So we have met.
You haven't aged a day.
That's debatable.
Why are you wearing such paltry arms?
How many times have we met before?
You don't remember. Oh, the thing.
Something about the river Styx, maybe.
She smiles.
Anyway.
Come sit.
There's like a little divan.
He goes and sits.
Yep. She sits beside you. She's like holding your hand.
It's been some time. It's too bad that you don't remember.
So we've got muteception. I'm muted, trying to tell Mark that he's muted.
Awesome. Sorry, this happened just as I made food. I know.
You might want to remember, quick boyo, window of opportunity.
He's like scrambling in his brain to remember anything about this woman.
Nope.
I'm sorry, I don't remember anything.
They've sure done a number on you, haven't they? It's not much of an afterlife for a hero of such a great and horrible war.
Yep, don't remember much about that either.
She looks at you. It's almost like there's something behind her eyes that stares into you. Like you saw a flash of something much more powerful, something that like she is capable of the judgment like a goddess could be.
Okay.
You don't remember at all. This must be confusing for you.
Very, especially when we're finding our own body parts around here.
So you have died since the last time we met.
Like I said, early in the news cycle.
And you have not found it.
She looks at your blade. She kind of like goes up to like she gives you the look like may I kind of thing.
Yeah, and he's like, he lets her, yeah. He just raises his arm so she can pull it out.
She knows how to handle a blade. She swings the fiery blade around a little bit.
Powerful, but not as powerful as the Answerer.
Not nearly.
You and I both share something in common. Darian Montague.
And what might that be?
You and I both did not get the afterlife we deserved.
He kind of lowers his eyes and goes, no, I suppose neither of us did.
Not that there would be much to go back to.
still, I've heard of your sacrifice,
She
and I wanted to thank you. There's still humanity and, well, others out there. They're grateful, whether they know it or not, that you took on what you took on.
At least somebody remembers. There was a time when the gods would have merely banded together to stomp out a threat like this. Her hands kind of fumble at the holy symbol of the five-faced god. But these gods are something different. They don't show up like the others. Long before your not long before your time. I keep on forgetting. Perhaps it's best that
I
you
still don't understand the purpose of what's going on here.
I wish I could help you.
Do you know who these lords above and below are?
Yes, and I had the unfortunate business to deal with them in order for us to visit Runarak. We have to keep on moving, otherwise the twisting begins to escape the demiplane.
Ah,
And with the state of things out there, well, we wouldn't want the multiverse to be shaped by this power now, would we?
apparently not.
Twisting a few devils, or... She smiles like she's using your own words. A few assholes on Acheron I thought would be all right, but Acheron is a plane of law, and this twisting is anything but. But these are my problems, not yours, Darian.
I don't mind sharing a burden every now and then.
Whatever these lords above and below want with the likes of you and your companions, I know not. But that temple is real. I do not understand how it stands there, but it is a thing that crops up on worlds, or used to.
Well, we're going to send it packing.
And the demon that is in that temple, that is real. That is a sliver of a demon lord or lady, as mighty as such aspects were in the heyday. The Abyss is still strong. Fucking Abyss.
Yeah, I can imagine. So,
The lords, many of the lords and ladies of the big table are betting against you.
well, given the number of times we've apparently died, that's not that bad a bet. Still, one doesn't give up because the odds are against them.
What do you think about this time around, she says.
Well,
Is it time?
I'm going to make it time this time.
She smiles. Good. Then you can have this back. She pulls a chain out from underneath her clothing and her armor, and you can see sparkling at the end of it is a giant emerald. It looks very similar to the one that you got from the spirit of your grandfather in Emeraldy Meadow.
Is that?
Yep. You gave it to me for safekeeping last time. Wow, this is not me helping you. This is me returning your property.
Thank you. Takes it.
And you know that you have. Where did I put this?
That I buried a Holy Avenger in +5 plate armor back at the.
+5. I don't think our armor goes up that high.
+5 plate armor is like mythic 3 armor in this. Or epic. Which means that if you take a peon and you stick them at +5 armor, they still get their ass destroyed by the first monster they meet.
True.
Because +3 AC on top of what they normally would have doesn't do much.
No, not much.
Not without levels.
She has given you the Stone of Retaliation,
Well, that sounds like a good one.
I will
which is
put
one,
that down.
which is one of the 3 stones of the Answerer. You know, find the blade that is wielded by Prince Thrommel, and with the 3 brilliant emeralds, the powers of retaliation, whispers, and answering shall be unlocked. If this
I'm
is
just gonna write that down.
If this is the time, then that is the sword that could slay a demon lord.
Do you think they're making little paladins in there?
Tommy, I think he's got his little tentacle out. Oh, funny.
Where did we meet?
Here?
At the circus?
Yes.
I get the sense that we've fought together before.
I unfortunately have not been able to leave this demi-plane for fear that the twisting would spread from me. Most of it is here, she says.
Then
But I heard about your deeds.
oh, I see. Well, you just seem familiar.
She smiles. You could say that.
Okay.
It'll be bad. Born with a stick up their ass.
Well, seems I'm very lucky to have good friends, even if I don't have the good sense to remember them.
Someday you'll break it, and you'll remember.
And we'll figure out how to get you out of here without releasing the twisting.
That's what you said last time. She smiles.
Well, one thing at a time. We'll get there. He kind of holds up the thing awkwardly.
Yep.
Thanks. Until next time, which is hopefully when we're freeing you of this twisting.
She smiles. I have something.
Just so we're clear, this isn't an evil circus, right?
All are welcome here as long as they follow the rules, and those that don't are punished with the only way that I have at my disposal.
Okay, just making sure.
There are evil people here. In the earlier days, I was much more vigilant.
Oh, those evil little souls. They're
Oh,
having
they're getting theirs.
they're having a fun time with this distraction.
Yeah. We're waiting for later to free some not so evil souls.
She smiles. Again, I'm not helping you.
Nope. Nope. Not helping. Now, oops. Quite nice to see you again.
She smiles.
And,
I look forward to you remembering, Darian.
yeah, that makes two of us. So, he kind of like goes in for like an awkward hug and stops and shakes her hand.
She hugs you.
Okay.
She gives you a kiss on your cheek, and for a brief moment you saw the flash of two beings. One, a beautiful celestial with huge wings kind of flying through the air. The clarion call of any paladin's dreams. The word solar crosses your mind.
Okay.
But behind that you see only something that Ptolemy could love. Weird tendrils and darkness twisting, something misshapen, serpentine, and wrong.
So what you're saying is she gets her tentacles.
It's the octopusoir. If anybody's seen Tron together.
It frightens you at the same time. It's awe-inspiring, and you're kind of shocked a bit. She's already kind of moved back to sit down. By the time you come back to it again,
Gotta go save some people. There's just hustles out the door.
there's a way to call the circus.
Oh, hello. Okay.
I can't tell you anything more about it, but it is possible, and one of you knows.
Duly noted. We'll figure this out. And he just salutes and
Yep.
goes.
She smiles. She obviously wanted to be not less formal, but Darian steps out. He's got his helmet off and a big smooch mark on his on his cheek.
You're not even breathing heavy.
What? Why would I be breathing heavy?
The thin Jurat just slowly closes the door and points for you to leave.
We should probably get out of here.
Yeah. Probably. So, what'd you say?
Well, she can't help us. It's against the rules.
Aren't we supposed to be here to help her?
Yeah, we can't right now.
So you're saying it wasted my golden shit?
No, we didn't. We'll help her, just not right now.
Okay, as you were walking by the tent of justice, you see these 6 ancient-looking strong boxes just sort of sitting in the room, and there's a sign that says, "Keep out."
Which is to adventurers is like, please take me.
There's also a stack of what look like stocks, like you could be placed in the stocks sort of thing, and other chains and manacles also in the
I'm
tent.
fairly certain that there's people in those boxes. Those are the prisons. I ain't fucking touching those.
Yep, the thin Jurat kind of walks up to here, and he just basically points your way out, and
you end up walking around the
Bye
corner.
bye. Overcharging ass.